Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Tap the notification bell in the corner. You're definitely going to want to come back and watch all the videos in this series. We did 3 videos, and now we're finally getting to the results. These are the oil analysis results at 46,000 miles on an over-the-road 18-wheeler truck. This happens to be a Peterbilt 2015 579 with a Paccar MX-13 engine. And I can't believe what these freaking results are. It sounds like impossible, but let's go over the results. So here we go. Our good man Jay at Winning Shot LLC. He is a 18-wheeler driver. We changed his oil 7 months ago. So this is his exact vehicle, MX-13 Peterbilt 579, diesel engine, manufacturer Paccar, 12 gallons, that's right, 12-gallon oil pan. Coming on over, this is the tracking number and the lab number. So let's just say you're new to oil analysis. You can actually get an oil analysis kit in the description section below if you want to try one on your vehicle. And that's what they do on all the commercial vehicles. And you can actually reference this if you want to ask questions about this. If you're a trucker out there and you want to know exactly what this means, you're more than welcome to reference that and get their opinion. So coming on down, the sample date was the 10th of March 2020. Coming on over, full flow filter. There was no bypass filter. So we could have actually ran a bypass filter and the oil would have been even better. So this was about 7 months, 46,000 miles, and the oil's looking like it's good for another 3 to 4 months. So it's barely even broken in, but I'll just show you where we're at here. The oil used was AMSOIL Signature Series Max Duty 1540. So this is a version of Signature Series for gasoline engines. This is the 040, commonly used on like the Hellcat, a bunch of the super powerful, newer vehicles like the Corvette now takes 040, the C7 Stingray. A lot of these engines are taking 040. And we actually did an oil analysis on a Dodge too, and it was still good after 15,000 miles of severe service. So we've done a lot of really, really good tests with this oil, and we're just continuing on. Now this is a little different for a diesel engine because it has high soot, and the soot adds some thickening and some other elements to it that they need these additives that are in this specific oil we used, and that's the AMSOIL Max Duty diesel oil. So we're going to come down to the comments. Flag data does not indicate immediate need for maintenance. Action, continue to observe the trend of the monitor equipment and fluid conditions. Base number is slightly low, which the base number is still green. It's still good, but the base number is a anti-acid additive, and that actually neutralizes the acid. So acid and base are opposites, and they neutralize each other. So if you have too much base, you put acid in, and that'll bring it back down. If you have too much acid, then you add more base. So this right here, the base number did come down quite a bit, but it's still in a good safe range. And as that number goes down, it'll actually have the ability to thicken more and stuff like that. Now, this oil hasn't thickened a lot. So you'll see this is the CST 15.3. That's still within the range of a 40 weight oil at 200 degrees. So they actually heat this up at the lab to about 200 degrees. And that's 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 212, 100 degrees Celsius. So 100 degrees Celsius is about boiling 212 Fahrenheit. So they actually heat that up, and then they check the viscosity and everything else. And that's your operating temperature. You know, when you're driving with a heavy load, you're going to be around 200 degree motor oil temperature. Coming on down to some other elements, we're going to start with finishing off neutralized acid. Oil is suitable for continued use. Observe for trend in future. Filter change acknowledged. So this specific vehicle has 2 different filters from the OEM. It's got a full flow filter, and that's like on a car. All cars have a full flow filter. Some are spin-on, some are a cartridge filter. You take the cartridge out. This specific engine, the MX-13, Paccar engine is a cartridge filter. We actually changed that filter, threw a fresh rubber on. Up here in the corner, that is to that video where we changed the oil filter. You can check that video out. And then also right here in the corner too, that's the very first engine flush we did on the engine, where it was like 115 degrees out here in Vegas when we did that oil change. It was completely crazy. So coming on down to the next thing, observe trend for future tests, filter change, done. So now we're gonna go through the analysis. Iron, 25 parts per million. Very low wear metals, nothing really significant. These are all your wear metals, absolutely nothing to worry about. Silicone, contaminant metals, multi-source metals, and then on to the additive packages. These, magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, zinc, these are different wear additives that actually help with the concussion metal on metal. You'll notice a lot of vehicles like this Cadillac, we got the premium protection, AMSOIL premium protection, high zinc and phosphorus. That protects the rings, also protects the flat tappet cams. You get a lot of pressure, especially if you're doing racing, high spring pressure, stuff like that. So that's gonna help with that. So that's all normal. These are actually added to the oil, and they will actually put a color on that if they're depleted. So as this oil actually breaks down, and there's a little bit of fuel dilution, you're actually going to break the oil down, you're going to lose good wear metals, and then they have to be added back in, hence by changing the oil. I guess some guys can add stuff, but this is basically just the oil out of the box. So we went through these. Now we're going to go over to date sampled. Lube time, 46,000 miles. Changed, no, we didn't change it yet. Fuel dilution. So you're going to see the fuel dilution is next to nothing, like what, barely even a 1% estimate on fuel. Soot, very low, and water, very low. So this right here, by there not being much soot, much fuel dilution, that's because the 100% synthetic film strength. So this is 100% synthetic. It's not a synthetic blend. A lot of people don't know that the oils that come in your car are actually a full synthetic, and they're a synthetic blend, and it's not 100% synthetic. So when you have 100% synthetic, you have a higher film strength between the gears, especially on differentials, all the different products AMSOIL makes, so you'll have less wear scar in the metal, and you just have exponentially more protection. So this is 100% synthetic, good for up to 1 year, 25,000 miles, or 700 idling hours. Now on this one, the oil we use max duty, this is good for about double to triple the OEM interval. So this Paccar MX-13 engine, OEM, you're going to be good for about 15 to 30,000 miles. And yeah, 15,000 is pretty short, and that's under severe service. This was actually driven out here in Las Vegas and Arizona quite a bit during the summer, and it was very severe. So this oil held up tremendously. Coming on down to the viscosity thickening is good. The base number is still good. Oxidation, nitrates are good, and that's it. So everything's totally good in this oil. So we did basically double the OEM severe service, which is 15,000. So 15 times 2 would be 30. This is 46,000 miles. And the oil's still totally good, and it was driven in 110 degree temperature, Arizona to Colorado, all around Vegas, California, in the dead of summer. So we actually changed this oil in the dead of summer last summer. So truly amazing how it did. And if you want to check out some other videos on this, definitely go ahead and check out this right here. I'm going to put the whole playlist of all my oil analysis videos. We actually did an oil analysis on a little Toyota direct injection with Signature Series motor oil, and the results after 5,000 miles, the oil was about, I think it was 3 to 5% used. So it thickened like 3%. So basically it thickened about the same as what Mobil 1 would thicken in 1,000 miles. So this in 5,000 miles thickened the same as about Mobil 1 in 1,000. So this is actually scientifically proven 4 times better than Mobil 1 extended performance and turbocharger deposit testing. So all these diesel engines are turbo, and this actually protects your engine. It doesn't leave carbon deposits, and then you get oil coking. And when oil coking happens, there's actually a film that gets inside the turbo, and that actually it shortens the life of the turbo. Turbo runs hotter, and you actually have to get that crap out of there, and you do that with an engine flush. And that's what we did on Jay's truck here. We actually did an engine flush on his engine back when we changed the oil. So if you're new to AMSOIL, I definitely recommend you do an engine flush. You can go ahead, get yourself some upper cylinder lubricants. We did run a fuel additive in this truck, and that helped with sealing the rings and having less blow-by. And I definitely recommend, if you have a diesel truck, the Cetane Boost Plus Diesel Clean. And that is a 2-in-1 basically. It lubricates, it also cleans the injectors, all the carbon deposits out of the combustion chamber, cleans the valves, and it has the Cetane Boost, which in California, it's very low, so you're gonna lose power. You're actually gonna get huge gas mileage increases by bumping your cetane. You'll also make more power, and truly just awesome to see these results. Jay ended up getting about 20% better gas mileage, and you can actually see him saying that in the video right here in the corner. Check that out. Definitely watch those videos. You got to see it to believe it. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. All my contact information is description section below and the comment section. And if you want to call me, text me, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're thinking to yourself, God, that stuff's got to be impossible. That sounds like total horsepucky. I don't believe this guy. Well, give me a call. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. If you can't sleep, call me. 702-472-3614. Call me, text me anytime. Happy to help you out, because to me, I don't feel like I did my job until I get the results for someone. And we've gotten the results for about 1,000 people already and counting. We've saved people over $2 million on engines, transmissions, differentials, saving gas money, less emissions, less smog. And that's what I do. So if I can help you, just let me know. Check these videos out in the corner. Oh, and this video right here. Check it out. This is the playlist on the truck. And well, until next time, cheers to protection, protection, protection.